What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, and I wanted to do a little bit of a preview before I showcase this video that you are all about to hear right now. And this is just to let you know that the content of this video that you're going to hear was recorded last week. So probably the middle of last week, I believe it was like Wednesday, I recorded this audio that you're going to hear in this video. And I'll be damned, your boy is good. Your boy is good as far as predicting what has been revealed as of now about this subject. Okay, and you're going to hear what I have to say in this video. But I gotta brag a little bit because I predicted a lot of what we know now. All right, because I like to record my videos sometimes a week ahead of time and then release them. And I recorded this one and I was going to let it stand as is. And then when the truth came out about this whole situation, I was like, well, maybe I won't release this video. Maybe I'll just do a new one. But now I decided, I re-listened to it and I was like, damn, I predicted a lot of stuff that's been revealed. I was on the money. I hate to brag, but damn, I'm good. If a microphone was a gun, I'd be Chris Eastwood. But yeah, so I'm going to post this video anyway and let you guys hear what I said last week. Once again, just to make sure so you know this video was, what you're going to hear is going to be from what was recorded last week. So when I start my intro, that's last week's stuff. Okay, and there's a lot that we didn't know, but I predicted what was going on. All right, but I think there's also a lot of great content in there as far as talking about what it truly means for a black man to be the protector, okay, of his community. So we're going to listen to that, and I hope you stick with me. I hope you listen, and for those, don't get too emotional. Make sure you listen thoroughly before you comment. And also to, I will be doing a whole new video anyway, and I'll probably release that tomorrow because there's more I have to say about this subject now that the truth has basically been revealed. Okay, so I hope you folks enjoy what you're going to hear, and I'm going to let the intro play, and then we're going to hear what I had to say about this subject last week. Anyway, let's take a listen to it, and just keep in mind, like I said, I recorded this last week before all the other truth videos came out. So I was on the money even beforehand. I'm surprised at how much I predicted. I was just going off gut feeling and what I had seen from this person before, but it looks like I was on the money. Let's listen to it. What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. And I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So I've been dragged into it, so I'm going to go ahead and do this video, okay? Because I've seen so many commentaries and people talking about it. The internet seems to have exploded with this whole incident with this young lady being hit upside the head with a brick, okay? So I'm going to talk about it here. And let me just give you a recap for those who don't know what the incident is. There was a young lady, I believe she's from East Africa somewhere. I think she might be Ethiopian or Somalian. And she was saying that she was going out, and some guy asked her for her number. She refused to give the guy her phone number, and out of nowhere, he picks up a brick off the ground and hits her upside the head. And then later we see the lady, she's around a crowd of black males, and she's asking them why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they help her? How can this man just hit me in the head with a brick and run away? Also, she's filming herself in the hospital later on, talking about how she never did anything to nobody, and why would someone do this to her? Okay, so we're going to talk about it because, like I said, I've seen commentaries here, there, and everywhere, and the entire discussion about black men protecting black women has come up again. I'm actually getting tired of this whole conversation. But, I'm going to try to talk about this whole subject in a holistic manner, meaning that I'm going to talk about it from multiple angles and make sure that I try to talk about it in a reasonable way as someone who does not have an agenda as far as the gender war. I don't want men to win. I don't want females to win. I want men and black women to be together. All right. Because I know we are stronger in that regard. So that's what I want. But if there's any agenda that I'm giving out here, that's it. Is that I want black men and black women to be together. So I can see that there are a lot of people out there who have their own agenda, and it usually runs no further than I want to make money on my social media app. So I'm going to present whatever point across or whatever narrative across on this video to try to get money out of people. So I know that's what the main thing is for a lot of black folks on social media on this subject. That is not my concern. Okay. So let me do my best to talk about this in a more rational fashion, okay, with not a lot of emotions hyped into it. First, just let me say this off top from the giddy up that I do not condone hitting someone upside the head for I don't know, not giving them their phone number, right? No one should be hit upside the head with a brick for that reason. All right. And that also goes for if the situation is not 100% true of what she's telling. If the situation was she was being loud and obnoxious, that also is not a reason to go upside someone's head with a brick. The only reason I can think of to where it would be reasonable for you to throw a brick at somebody's head is if this person is running at you with a knife or trying to assault you. Okay, or there's like a group of people trying to run at you and assault you. Like I've been in an incident where there were multiple people trying to attack me, and the first thing I thought of was to grab the nearest rock near me and throw it at them. Okay, and then I threw the rock and then ran. So I can understand in that type of situation where you're being cornered or something like that, throwing a brick at someone's head, right? Or if, like I said, if a female's coming at you with like a weapon, like a knife or whatever, I can understand that. I can totally understand that type of situation, right? But just from someone being loud, obnoxious, or not giving you their phone number, there's no reason for you to be hitting them in any shape, form, or fashion. All right? Do not assault people because of what they say. All right? You can't do that. And we don't want to open up that can of worms where we make it okay to assault somebody just because of the way they talk or act, because that can always be reversed on us. Someone can find us being very obnoxious or loud or whatever and then decide that our life is worth ending or our life or our being is worth being assaulted. So there's no excuse for hitting someone upside the head like that. Okay, if that's really what happened. And that's the next point I want to make. I don't know for sure if that is the incident, if that is actually what happened. That's what this female said, right? But the truth of the matter is, after looking at her social media and looking at some of the other things she says, she comes off as someone who would lie about this type of incident. Okay, and I'm not even saying that that's exactly what happened. I'm not saying she is lying. But she comes off as someone who will lie, or at the very least exaggerate this type of situation. All right. And, I don't know what the specifics are, if this really happened or not, but I will say um, she's not really the most trustworthy person to be having this debate about. And it's a shame that that even factors into this whole situation, right? But when someone is so blatant about being performative and sowing dissension and lies out there on social media, it has to be brought up when that's their entire being is bullshitting on social media. That kind of has to be brought up into the conversation. Okay, now you gotta be careful when you follow people like that, people who are performative or people who do things just to get views on their social media, who act out just to get views. Like she's one of these idiots that goes out there to slap white people and talk about how black people should get reparations or this is for whatever. And she'll slap black or white person and then go twerk somewhere. Just stupid stuff. She does everything she can for attention. And this, sad to say, this might be a stunt. Don't put it past her, because from what I understand, at this point there's no video of her actually being hit in the head. We saw the aftermath. We saw her swollen head, and that could have been done intentionally, or maybe she did get hit in the head somehow, but it might not be the situation that she says. All right, because from what I understand, someone saw her arguing with another female at the same time. So I don't know what the situation is, but just be careful in the people you follow behind. And I know that's hard to say because there's so much trash on social media, and there's so many people with an agenda. Like you have the numbskull divestors and the black feminists and just the plain old black male haters on social media. They jumped on this story immediately, and they're talking bad of how black men assault black women, how black men don't defend or protect black women. That's all they talk about right now, right? They're getting off on doing videos about this subject. Like I'm sure these women were playing with themselves on this story, right? Also, you got the manosphere crowd who want to immediately diminish this type of situation to make it seem like the person who got hit upside the head, it must be her fault, right? And you gotta be careful on that side too, because some of these guys involve themselves in a lot of hyperbole and lying, and they automatically make it about all black women instead of just this one singular incident and this one singular person. All right, so you got both sides of the gender war trying to demonize one gender or the other, which is ridiculous. But dealing with the whole idea of black men protecting black women, because that seems to be where everyone's taking this thing, right? I've talked about this a couple of times before, and once again, I'm just tired of the subject because no one wants to talk about it realistically. No one's talked about it from a logical standpoint. It's all emotion and gender warring and blaming one side or the other. No one's actually thinking when it comes to discussing what it means for a man to protect his woman or just to protect his community, right? And for one thing, that's the basics of the mix-up in this whole argument. The way a lot of these females talk about black men protecting them is basically like the way a superhero would protect the city or something like that. So there's a big monster attacking the city, or a villain is attacking a lady or has kidnapped her, and the way these females talk, they make it seem like black men are supposed to act like the Power Rangers or the Justice League and come rescue black women. And truth be told, black men have probably, in that regard, been the most protective or overprotective of their women in that regard. There's plenty of black men in prison or who have been sent to the grave because they want to be overprotective of their women in that sense, right? If that's the way that these women talk about protection, then you have to admit that black men are probably the most protective, not the least. They go overboard, above and beyond, right? We all saw the video where the young man killed somebody at a food stand for his mama. We all saw a trial over the summer where this woman claimed she was abused by her football playing boyfriend and told her brother and his friends to go shoot his shit up. And these dumb numbskulls went over there to cause trouble, and one of them got killed, right? So this whole idea that black men don't protect black women in that way shows just, that's a complete falsehood. Now, I have a problem with that type of rhetoric because when I think of protection, I'm thinking about it in the truest sense of how a man protects his community. It's not just about protecting a woman or protecting just women altogether. Like you notice when you hear it from these females out here, they talk about how the black woman is not protected, right? There's never any mention of children. And that just shows you where the ego is and where their mind is located, how their mind's been warped by this perception of what protection is supposed to be. When it comes to protection, you need to look at the animal kingdom. When a lion protects, he protects his entire pride, not just his women, or not just one woman that he's mated with. Do you understand that? He protects the entire territory where they live. That's where a man's true protection comes from. And what a real man, what it means to be protection in the first place. A man is supposed to protect his community. He's supposed to create a community. He's supposed to create civilization and watch over his people and his tribe. That's what protection truly means. And I know these females don't get it because basically, for what a lot of them want black men to be is a ratchet response team. Like they feel like they can go out there and be as ratchet and as ignorant as they want to be, and the man is supposed to come in there and pick up the pieces. That's what they mean by protection, right? And it's almost kind of like if I can give you an example, in my own family when my siblings were very young, like my older sister when she was very young, and I'm talking about like 8, 9, 10 years old, she used to get into a lot of trouble because she would run her mouth and talk bad to people, but she knew she always had the backup and protection of my two older brothers to come in and save her and protect her. And like my mom had to eventually step in and say, you can't keep doing that because now you're getting your brothers in trouble. Okay, you need to watch your mouth and understand that you going out here and running your mouth and always thinking your brothers are going to be there to protect you, that's not a good thing to do because you can wind up getting yourself and them into danger, right? So that's basically the type of protection that a lot of these females are talking about when they talk about the black man needs to protect the black woman or protect black women online. They want to be able to do whatever they want, be able to run rogue and do all types of ridiculousness and ratchetness, and a black man is supposed to swoop in like Superman and save them. That's not the way protection works, okay? That's not the way it's supposed to be. And once again, when a man does truly protect his community, that also means setting up a certain set of rules. That means people within that protection bubble need to follow certain types of rules. It's not every man or every woman for themselves. It doesn't mean you can go rogue, okay? It doesn't mean you can keep talking about I can do whatever I want and supporting things that are detrimental to that community. Do you understand that? Okay, you can't talk about how I'm supportive of LGBT and trans and all this other nonsense, and then black men are supposed to protect that. Why would I want to protect something that's detrimental to me in the long run? Why would I want to protect someone who says, they want to destroy what I've built? You understand that? Like, why would I want to protect that? That is antithetical to me. Like, why would I want to protect something that claims it doesn't need me or want me or need me there? Right? So you have to be careful with the type of rhetoric you're putting out there. And it's always these types. And this woman in particular who got hit with the brick, she was on that type of nonsense, talking about how you don't need men and women are the protectors of everyone or whatever nonsense she was saying on social media. She was very supportive of LGBT and saying that before there was feminism, there were lesbians and lesbians protected everybody. Well, then why didn't you ask the lesbians for help then? Why didn't you ask the feminists and other women for help? Because I know no black women came to your aid either when you got hit upside the head with the brick. So if no women came to your defense, why would you ask the men? You said you didn't need us, right? So this is what I'm saying. If that's your philosophy and you want to run rogue like this and you want to be an outlier, then when stuff goes left, You can't come back and ask the quote unquote toxic patriarchy to come save you. You see? So you got to be careful with these things. And I know the truth of the matter is that the only reason people like that are able to even operate is because of said quote unquote toxic patriarchy. You're able to move and maneuver with a lot of that nonsense because you have the basis of a patriarchy and a male based civilization looking out for you in that regard. Men build a civilization for you to live and make your life more convenient, and then you basically have the time and the energy to go out there and act a damn fool, and you think you can just run rogue. You still have to follow a certain set of rules within that community. You have to understand this if you're going to ask for protection. And men need to understand this as well. It's not just about running to the rescue of a female that gets into trouble. There's more to the idea of protection. Building is part of protection. Building a proper economic structure for your community. Building a proper social structure for your community. Building laws. Building municipals and building actual physical building of houses or roads or whatever. Planning your actual community out. That's all part of the protection. Okay, it's not just running out there and saving your girl when she's running off at the mouth and some other man assaults her. All right, stuff like that is prevented by the protection that you're supposed to be providing. Understand that? So that's all I wanted to talk about, and once again, get this situation out there and talk about it on a more realistic level and talk about what protection truly means, because I know based on what I've seen, there are people out there who have no idea what that means. They just use the word and, run off at the mouth and blame this side or the other side, but they don't truly understand what it means to be a man and provide protection for their community. It's not just about providing a safety net for some ratchet female or any female. It's not about just saving one person. For men to provide protection, you have to provide it in all ways and create a community and a civilization that provides that protection for your people and all of them, not just one or two. Okay? So, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on the devil's back.